Welcome to my Thorium playthrough. This is my successor to the Metal Pipe series. Sadly, the hard drive that I had all the Metal Pipe stuff stored on is corrupt. I can't get anything from it. It's like it doesn't exist, so just gotta get some wood right now, and I'll get back to you whenever I have a house. Alright, so it was at this point at which my mic cut out, so I'm going to be voicing over from now on. Alright, so at this point I'm making some insta houses so I can hopefully get the merchant and the cobbler. The cobbler is an NPC that will sell shoes, and those shoes have abilities, one of them pertaining to my class, the bard class. Whenever you're running, it gives you a buff. Like, you got the bard shoes, which as you run it increases your inspiration regen, and the hardy shoes, which as you run it increases your life regen. Alright, found a wand of sparking in a chest. Went down, found a coin portal, got 15 out of that, which is pretty good in my book. And then in that chest I found an aglet, so took it, obviously equipped it, why would I not? It's free speed. And then I found a warding book, or menacing guide to plant cordage, or whatever, however you pronounce that. Made some iron, got an iron anvil, so I'm looking pretty good at this point. Alright, so sadly, first death of the series to a yellow slime. I mean, who does that? Who dies to a yellow slime? Oh, don't you worry, my friend. I went right on back to that cave and tracked down that yellow slime and showed it who's boss. Yep, definitely showed it who's boss. I definitely didn't die a second time to that thing. Definitely did not die a second time. I'm being serious. Like, look at this. Look at this. Look at me taking my advantage on the high ground. I mean, look, come on. Who other than me has such strategic mindsets like this, so that way I can be at an advantage? Anyways, there he goes, there he dies. Woo, ow. Ow. Oh, man. But yeah, I went back, killed it. I'm pretty good at the game, I know. Alright, then I found some iron. I mined it pretty good. It's looking pretty good right now. So at this point it's kind of slow because there isn't that much progress being made due to the fact that I suck at progression. I take too long. I'm in the moment of things, so I teleport back because this is just too much for me. And yeah, ow, that's too much. So I teleport back, I go make some cloth so that way I can make my armor set later, and then I smelt down my iron. Get this, I make something with the iron. I know, right? Crazy. I make a harmonica, which is a triple shot item, and you'll see here in a bit that it's pretty stinking good for being such an early game weapon. I then go and create a iron shield, which gives me 10 shield life. Shield life is basically an addition to your normal health, and it regenerates quicker, I think. So it's just an extra layer of protection, and I quite really enjoy it, and I'm gonna try and not rely on it, but we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I'm in the recording area, and if you'll go into the voiceover area. Alright, so at this point I found something called life quartz, and I think it's pretty good because you can use 10 of it and make a life crystal, which I really need as a bard because, well, I don't get that much defense. I get the defense from the buffs of my instruments, and the current one I'm using, the iron harmonica, it only gives me a 3 times drop pickup range. Alright, later on I found a life crystal, so yeah, I'm in good shape now. I should be, at least. So I also mined this topaz tree. I only got 1 topaz from it, which is absolutely scandalous. Anyways, so I replanted it, go over, see that there's nothing, so I'm just gonna go back. Nothing really here for me in that cave, I guess. I do come back later though, so don't worry about that. I dig around. And as I was digging around, skeleton. I hate skeletons because they throw bones, they can jump, they're so infuriating early game, especially when I don't have any armor. I spawn back at the house, I go into the main area, I don't know what to call it, and I craft myself a life crystal, giving me another 20 health. Traveling further to the west of my world, I find the corruption, and as you know happens with the corruption, I got my own butt handed to me. So then I started running away with like a dog, but with my tail between my legs during a thunderstorm, and I just start fiddling around seeing what I can do. I can't really do anything except dig. So I'm looking around selling stuff, and boom, gold worm, making me 10 gold richer. I also go and start expanding on my house a little bit. You know, I want to get a bit more. I really need that cobbler and that merchant, because the amount of gold I have lost is absolutely absurd. So I just get done putting those down, I start walking away, and merchant. So I go to him and I start buying. I get the piggy bank. I put my coins inside of the piggy bank because why wouldn't you? Put 1 coin in there, click quick stack, it throws all your coins in there, pretty fun fact. And then I just start selling my miscellaneous stuff to him. You don't need to see that. And so I'm down in the mines, I find this life crystal, but there's a stinky skeleton guarding it. I really hate skeletons, if you can't tell, so I go over, I notice that he's in water. And water prevents him from throwing bones at me because I have the high ground. I told you, I have the greatest strategic mind ever. You could never compare. I'm obviously joking. Y'all are pretty smart. I love y'all. So I kill him, finally, and then I go down and grab my life crystal that I've rightfully earned. Yay! Sadly, shortly after killing that one skeleton, I find another. And he kills me. Because bones. So, I come back down, bent on revenge at killing that skeleton, and an earthen bat is around. The earthen bat drops smooth coal, which can give you a barred weapon and various barred accessories. These accessories buff a certain type of instrument, so if you, say, had the mouthpiece, it would buff wind instruments, and since my harmonica is a wind instrument, since it takes wind to make it make a sound, it buffs that and gives it homing projectiles. I find the skeleton that killed me earlier. Ha, trapped in a hole. Surely he can't hit me. And then he did. So then I go back, throw a bomb in hopes of killing him, and then his friend drops in. And then I die, because fun fact, skeletons can jump. So I start traveling to the right side of my world, trying to find something. And I found a little bit of stuff, but I had to run away like a coward with my tail between my legs. Like, come on. How am I losing to a giant worm? That is quite literally one of the easiest enemies to fight in Terraria. So I go back, craft up some arcane dust. It's not really of much use to me right now, but it can be. It can be. I also use this life crystal that I found in that cave I just went to, and I smelt some tungsten. And then what I do is I go and accidentally use a recall potion. Yeah, that's fun. Anyways, I then go check out what I can do. I don't know why I didn't smelt my copper. I checked the recipes, and there's the grand piano. It's pretty bad. Here's the mouthpiece, I'll put it up on screen right now. It gives you 5% increased playing speed, which is basically just an attack speed boost, and it gives you homing shots with a wind weapon. Now, if the wind weapon already has homing, then it makes it quicker. So I come back down to the caves, raring to go for a fight against those skeletons, and fun fact, this harmonica, pretty good, although I do have a damage down on it because of the buzzing prefix. So, yeah, I start cheesing him, basically, and you don't want to see all that, so... Oh, as you notice upstairs in that cave, as I'm cheesing this black slime, what I don't notice is that there's an earthen golem. Now, I do go back up there and I start fighting him. Fun fact, earthen golems have a slam attack that they can make rocks fall down on you with, and I didn't know this until now. So I killed him on just a sliver of health remaining. Come on, I had it in the bag. You can always rely on me to clutch up. And it gave me the Heart of Stone, which, based on how deep you are in the world, it increases your defense, which is pretty good for me right now. Then apparently I wasn't invited to this family meetup because there are 2 more and they promptly slay me. Yeah, they got revenge for their brother or sister or whatever, I guess. Then I come back with a new item, a murderous ignite. The ignite is basically a fire spell, but sadly it isn't enough and I die. So I go to the demolitionist and do the only thing I know. Buy grenades. And I'm gonna cheese that golem and then I'm gonna cheese that skeleton because oh boy oh howdy do I hate skeletons, do I hate that earthen golem. So I come back down. The only thing in my mind is throwing grenades at that Rocky boy and that Skelly boy. Sadly, they died. It's not sadly. I win. It's fun. Then I throw skeleton nades. Throw nades at the skeleton. I almost died because of my own grenade, but you know me. You know me. I can get out of these. So then I went down, found some life quartz. I'm gonna turn that into life crystals later, so I'm doing pretty good right there. I do a bit more digging, I find an emerald gemcorn tree, and I also found some more life quartz. I'm doing pretty good, but it can be better. Sadly, the tree only gave me 1 emerald, so I start going off to the right, finding whatever I can, and boom, there's a bunch of tungsten in that water, but there's also granite golems and granite elementals because I'm in a granite biome. Granite sucks because they spawn those elementals, and the elementals, I just hate them. Sadly, I die because of a piranha, believe it or not. And now I'm left penniless because I'm a broke boy. So anyways, I respawn and I start making myself an iron pickaxe, upgrading my stuff, if I could, that is, and I just start selling to the demolitionist. I go and gather some wood because obviously I need to increase my house, so I start taking insta houses, go up there, and then start adding on to the house, make it look a bit more big. I went back down into the cave, killed the piranha that had all my gold, but then I got ambushed by an earthen golem, and his third cousin twice removed, granite golem, and sadly I had to leave. But there is some good news. After I died, I went back to my house and got some cloth, and now I have my first piece of armor, the Crier's Cap, which gives me a single piece of defense, sadly, but it does increase my inspiration regen. So, it's pretty good for how I am right now. I come back down with the rage of Ares in my mind towards this granite golem. I decided right here, right now, I'm gonna kick this dude's rocky butt, so that's what I do. Sadly, it was with grenades and not my bare hands because I wanted to nerf myself. I didn't want to tear him apart at the first second, you know? I'm just too strong for this game. So as you can see, I kicked that granite golem's rocky butt like I should have, and I just go back up, not to the surface, but I keep exploring through the cave. As you can see here, I'm playing a little game of jump over the earthen golem, otherwise you're gonna get hit in the head by his falling rocks. So I'm doing that right here, and I kill him. And then after doing that, I obviously kill the black slime and realize, oh, hey, there's an underwater chest. Let me grab that. So then I do breathing reed. Not that good, but it can sell for a bit, including that sand bucket. I think I get about a gold for that sand bucket. So, yeah, I start getting out of there. Sadly enough, I go over here. My lust for blood against skeletons is too strong, so I decide to try and run a couple fades, but they knock me down. It's too much, so I gotta get out of there. After getting back in my house, I immediately go to crafting some cloth with the surplus of cobwebs that I have picked up from that cave, and in doing so, I make the Crier's Sash. Now this gives me 2 defense and has the same buff as the Crier's Cap, so it's a pretty good increase for me. I come back to the house after chopping more wood and make some insta houses. You can kind of see what I'm gonna do here. So I go up, I place the insta houses like you would, but I place them in a certain way. Since this is a new series, I decided to commemorate it by creating a heart house. Yes, this will be a lovely playthrough, that's what I keep saying. So, I decided to make it a lovely playthrough. I also go outside, start sorting out my inventory, placing them into the chest. You know, same old, same old. Pretty fun. I'm lying. It's not fun at all. After I was done with sorting out the chest, guess who moves in? It's the cobbler. You're gonna be able to see some of the shoes that he sells and why I wanted him so badly, because early game he's gonna be a hard carry because the shoes are amazing early game. As you can see here, I've bought one of each because I'm just that rich, and as you can see, I got the traveling merchant, but sadly I wasted all my gold. I mean, I refused to pay the absurd prices that the traveling merchant charges. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. I'm not broke. They're just overcharging. And as you can tell, I'm a bit of a capitalist, so I really like low deals. I get the Dynasty Guzheng crafted from the Dynasty wood that I purchased from the Traveling Merchant. It is a quad shot piercing string weapon, so then it has a projectile bounce. So if I get the guitar pick, I get 2 projectile bounces, which makes it pretty good. To show you just how good it is, I hunted down an earthen golem, and with the rage in my blood of the past times they've killed me, I handle him pretty easily because that's just how strong the Dynasty Guzheng is. So, yeah. I'm shredding him, like absolutely shredding. He's like a block of cheese, and I'm a blowtorch. Now, as you can see here, I'm about to make the worst mistake of my life and make the grand piano. This has a metronome-like function where if I perfectly time the clicks, where it's in the green, the arrow, I don't use up any inspiration, I get a boost for my defense, and I get an attack boost. Sadly, I don't use this thing because it's a hot load of steam and garbage, because I can't focus on clicking and hitting the boss. Now right here I find a granite cave with a glowing mushroom biome attached. I mine straight in there after gathering this cobweb, which will give me the final armor piece that I need for my set to be complete. And I just mine in there, grab that tungsten, you know, pretty good. Now while I'm fighting this earthen golem and what is your mother, a gilded bat comes out of nowhere. Now, I don't know how rare this thing is, but it drops me a pretty penny and I get to go on my way. Now sadly, after coming down further into the cave, I am slain by some ants, because why wouldn't I be? Ants, they're pretty strong in real life, so they're pretty strong in this game, I guess. After respawning, I come back to my house, smelt down the tungsten, iron, and gold that I got from that little mining expedition. I I have created the final piece of my armor set. Alright, so I craft something called the Grand Flare Gun, which combined with the Storm Flare will allow me to summon the Grand Thunderbird later in the game. It is a pre-Eye of Cthulhu boss, so it's gonna be quite easy with all that I have right now. So, yeah. So, in preparation for the battle, I go up and buy a absolute butt ton of wood from my construction dude. So that way, I can create the platforms in order to make the mini insta bridges, so I can make my arena for the Grand Thunderbird fight. After having placed down the final piece, I summon the Grand Thunderbird, and I'll just let you watch this play out. I'll put in the music for you. Alright, so right here I'm gonna cut ahead a bit because it's a slow battle, of course, and Alright, so as you can see, we have defeated the Grand Thunderbird, the first boss of my many challenges. So I have to sort through my inventory, of course, because why not? I have too much stuff, most of it being junk, so I sort through it, and I get the Savage Thunder Talon, which sadly is a melee weapon and is not of my class, so I have to keep fighting him in order to get the Didgeridoo, which is a wind weapon, so I can use the mouthpiece and give it homing projectiles. So I go back, craft more storm flares, and I'm gonna go refight the Grand Thunderbird. I only fight him once and then I have to wait for day, so let's get to it. Alright, so I just skipped to the end of the fight for the viewers' sake, to be honest, because I don't really really think you want to watch me fight the Grand Thunderbird again. By the way, whenever he does his dash attack, you can melee him, and it stuns him, so you can get a good couple shots in. So from this bag, I got the bow. Sadly, I can't use that either, so I have to keep fighting him for the didgeridoo. I killed him a third time. Sadly, still no didgeridoo, because I'm just that unlucky. So, another fight. Alright, so here is my fourth fight against him. Now I open this bag, crossing my fingers and hoping that I get it, and I do. Boom, didgeridoo. So I try out the didgeridoo on this poor purple slime here, and as you can see, it hits 3 times as opposed to the Dynasty Guzhang's 2 times. So this is a pretty much better weapon, and I think that's where I'm gonna end things. So yeah, see ya.